Good morning, Dr. O. I will go through the process of creating a quiz or exam in Lockdown Browser in Canvas. And then if you have any questions, you can contact me back. So let's go ahead and look at the desktop. All right, currently I'm in my Canvas. I'm going to open up a class here. And in this class, we're going to create a quiz that requires Lockdown Browser. Now, the first thing you have to do is activate Lockdown Browser. Go through your navigation menu over here and make sure that Lockdown Browser and Monitor is present. Make sure that it's visible and doesn't have the little eyeball next to it. If you can't see it, if it is not active in the menu, then what you'll need to do is scroll down to the bottom of your class and click on Settings. And once that opens, you'll click on Navigation. And then you can go through this list. And if it's not visible up here, then it will be visible down here. If it's visible down here, then what you'll need to do is, I'm going to go ahead and move mine down, is grab it down here and move it above this line. Okay, anything above this line is active and students can see it. If it's below this line, it is deactivated, students can't see it. So make sure that Lockdown Browser and Monitor, that entry is above this line, and then go down to the bottom and click Save. At that point, you will be able to use Lockdown Browser in your quizzes. Now we can build the quiz. So we're going to go to Quizzes. And we're going to create a quiz. This blue button up here, this is Add Quiz. You're going to make sure that you use classic quizzes. Don't use new quizzes for this because it does not work very well with Lockdown Browser. We're fighting with that right now with a bunch of classes. So use classic quizzes and click Submit. You're going to give the quiz a name. We're going to call it Test Quiz. You're going to give the instructions, and where you're going to get the instructions is here under Lockdown Browser. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just open that. It'll probably be easier for you to do this before you open the quiz. Click on Lockdown Browser, and I'm going to click on the Getting Started. And we're going to use classic quizzes. So giving the students instructions. Use classic quizzes. Now, if you want to use the webcam part, you can click on this link. I'm going to just use Lockdown Browser by itself. So I'm going to click on that link. And it says edit the instructions below. You're just going to copy and paste all this text in white. Anything that's in red, you're going to need to edit. So let's go ahead and copy all this. You can X out. And we're going to go back to our quiz. Wow. Okay, so here we are back at our quiz. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this up here. All right, so this course requires the use of Lockdown Browser for online exams. There's a video that teaches the students how to use it. Download instructions. This is important. In fact, I usually put this in bold. This is where they're going to get the application. So they're going to need to click this link and download it and install it. You might want to go ahead and add a little bit here. I'm going to say, once you've downloaded the application, you will need to install it. Use it instead of Chrome to access your Canvas. Okay, this is where students tend to mess up, so we want to cut them off at the pass if possible and eliminate any problems before they happen. A lot of times students will click on this and download it, and then they're like, what do I do now? I downloaded it, nothing's happening. You have to install it. This video should walk them through the process, but like I say, a lot of times they don't watch the video. So give them a little bit of extra instruction here. Once it's installed, you're going to start Lockdown Browser, log into Canvas, navigate to the exam, and complete the exam. You will not be able to access it in regular Chrome or whatever. If it's tried, you're going to get an error message, and it's going to ask you to start Lockdown Browser, but you have to install it and start it. It's like another browser. It's not like regular, it's not a Chrome extension or something. That's where a lot of students get messed up. Guidelines here, if you're going to do this at the testing center, which I highly recommend, they have Lockdown Browser already installed and they can show the students how to use it. The students can just go to the testing center. If not, then they can do it at home or wherever. They need to read through these instructions. If they need help, then they can get help basically by clicking on the help icon. Where's it at? Down here where it says help. They click on that, then during business hours, it'll come to me and I'll be able to help them. Otherwise, you can go to support. I'm going to go ahead and bold this. Otherwise, you can go to support.respondus.com and select submit a ticket, and then Respondus will be able to help them. But regardless, these are the instructions for using Lockdown Browser. Below that, you're going to put your instructions for the quiz. Oops. So you'll put your instructions down below that. You want to make this a part of quizzes or whatever group you use. The type is a graded quiz. Assuming you want to have a grade, you can select shuffle answers, time limit. If you want to give them a time limit, you want to allow multiple attempts, you can do that as well. You can let the students see their responses, however you choose to do that. If you want to require a password for the quiz, you can do that as well. I wouldn't, since you're using Lockdown Browser, and then don't worry about filtering IP addresses. What's important is you do want to have a due date. So go ahead and set the due date, and then available from and until, that's up to you. But you do absolutely want to set a due date, and then you're going to say save and publish. Now at that point, the quiz is prepared, but you haven't integrated Lockdown Browser yet. So you've got the quiz, you've got it prepared. Make sure you take note of the name. In this case, it's test quiz. And now we're going to click back on the Lockdown Browser link. And we're going to find test quiz in our list here. And I have 2 test quizzes. There we go. So test quiz. You're going to click on that and click on settings. The little drop down next to the name of the quiz, and then settings. Now this is where it's important. By default, it'll say don't require it. You're going to change that to require Lockdown Browser. If you choose to, you can add a access code here. I would not. Under advanced settings, require it to view post-exam feedback and results. Yes. Lock students into the browser, that's up to you. Basically, it allows you to, where they have to stay in the browser and finish the exam. Allow specific external, if you have a domain that they need to visit, most people will not. That's the whole point of using Lockdown Browser. But if you do, you can add a whitelist of domains here. Like if you wanted them to be able to go to Microsoft.com, you would select that and it gives you a box to add in those domains, and you can put in Microsoft.com and it will allow students to go there. Enable calculator in the toolbar. You can do that if you choose. Also enable printing from the toolbar. If there's some aspect of the quiz they have to print, you can do that. Otherwise, just click on the top one. And then if you want to set up the webcam, this under proctoring is where you would do it. I'm going to say don't require proctoring. If you want it, that means they have to have a webcam. You can click on this middle link here, and this will give you some instructions. I'll let you read that at your leisure. You can decide how you want to do that, webcam only or webcam and screen, or you can allow an instructor, but that's kind of beside the point. You're not going to have an instructor proctoring this, so it'll either be one of these two. These items, you will select the ones you want to include in your exam. There's some advanced settings down here. Same thing. You want to allow the use of an iPad for this exam. iPads are very complicated because it's different from the way that a Chromebook or PC works. This is not ready. Switching to Excel, so that would allow them to use Excel, but it's not ready yet. Allow this exam additionally to be delivered in a proctored lab. If you're going to have them go to the test center, they can do that. But once you decide what you want to do as far as proctoring goes, then you'll click on Save and Close. And at this point, you'll notice that the name of your quiz has been changed. So now it says Test Quiz Requires Respondus Lockdown Browser, and you'll see Required over here. So at this point, the test has been configured to use Lockdown Browser. And now any students that want to take this test, they're going to have to. At this point, now you can go back to quizzes. We can add some questions to the test. So you'll go back to quizzes. Where's test quiz? There we go. Test quiz requires Lockdown Browser. And we'll go back and edit the quiz. And we're going to add some questions. So you can add them from a question bank. If you choose to do that, you'll click on Find Questions. Don't worry about New Question Group unless you already know what that is. Basically, it just allows you to organize the questions inside your quiz into groups. But then click on, if you're just going to type in the questions or paste them in, you'll click on New Question. And you'll type in the question. And then down here, you'll select your correct answer. And your distractors. And at that point, you've added a question. You'll update the question. If you want to choose automatic feedback, you can do that. There are ways to add feedback here for incorrect or correct responses. But once you've done that, then you'll update. Now, when you've added all your questions, you're going to save the quiz. And once you've got the quiz saved, you're going to make sure in your modules, so let's go to modules, that you've added it into a module. So let's say we want to do this in our first module. You will open up that first module and click on the plus sign here. Change this drop down to quiz. We're looking for Test Quiz Requires Respondus Lockdown Browser Classic. Click on that. You can indent or not, up to you, and then add item. And now in your module, you'll see that your quiz has been added and it is published. The little green arrow with the check part says this quiz is published. Your students will be able to see it at this point and they can start taking it. When they click on it, oops, let's go to View as Student. When they click on it, this is what they're going to see. It requires Lockdown Browser. It will have the instructions and the download link. They'll need to click on the download link and install Lockdown Browser. If they try to take it without it, then Lockdown Browser is required. And so that's what the students will see. They will need to install Lockdown Browser and they will need to open Lockdown Browser. So they will need to close Chrome completely down and open up Lockdown Browser as a separate application. All right, Dr. O, if that is helpful, go ahead and please let me know if you need any further support. If nothing else, could come by the office and we could go through anything that you did not understand together. But that's basically how you would create a quiz using Lockdown Browser. Like I said, if you want to use the webcam portion, then just continue on editing in the Lockdown Browser link. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you have a good semester.